Hey there YouTube, That's here, bringing you guys another game featuring Mega Metagross from the Nugget Bridge Live Tournament. We're going to be using Sableye, Mega Metagross, Latios, and Mamoswine. I think those are the same people I used yesterday as well. Leading off against Bopper, a pretty well-known player, did very well at Nationals and Worlds this year. He's using Salamence, Aegislash, Gastrodon, and Rotom Heat. Now, Gastrodon and Rotom Heat is a smaller core that was very popular back in February and January. I actually used it at a couple events, so I know how strong it is. Can't let those guys get away with anything. We're going to start things off and get right into it for today's game. So like I said, Bopper, very strong opponent. This is round 3 or 4 of this Nugget Bridge Live, and we're leading Metagross and Sableye versus Aegislash and Salamence. So Salamence, remember, packs that Intimidate, but Metagross's Clear Body lets it avoid that attack reduction. Sadly, Metagross just can't really stay on a board that has Aegislash on it, so we have to withdraw immediately, going straight into Mamoswine. I figured it was a pretty safe switch, and we're just going to see what he can really get done here. So Mamoswine obviously has pressure on Salamence and is decent against Aegislash at the same time. We're actually going to see him go for a very, very defensive turn 1 using Protect and King Shield. I'm then going to take advantage of that and put a little bit of a timer on the Aegislash with the Will-O-Wisp. So burning Aegislash, like I said, lets it tick down every single turn. And I feel I got away with murder there. I totally switched into Mamoswine for free and then forced a Salamence out and didn't take any damage. So this turn we are going to see Rotom Heat coming in. I'm also going to withdraw my Sableye, go for a combo you guys have seen me do a couple times this tournament, and just go for a big Earthquake after switching into a Pokemon that has Levitate. So there's 2 Pokemon with Levitate on the board. They're going to avoid damage, but Aegislash is going to take that juicy, super effective Earthquake damage, dropping him quite low. He's then going to stance change. I was expecting a Flash Cannon, and like I said, I do carry an Assault Vest, so I would have been fine. Instead, we see a Shadow Ball on what was the Aegislash slot, swapping in a Latios. I mean, Latios would have been great here if it didn't go down that turn. If you just would have Flash Cannon my Mamoswine, I could have Life Orb, Draco Meteor, the Rotom Heat, and been fine. But Latios goes down. It sadly hasn't been able to do that much this tournament. We're then going to bring Sableye in and go for a Fake Out on the Rotom Heat, just trying to get a judge of its speed tiering. We see that Mamoswine is faster and can go for a Rock Slide, picking up a KO on the Aegislash while chunking the Rotom Heat at the same time. It's a pretty good turn for me. We see that Rotom isn't super bulky, but we are going to see that it does have that Citrus Berry. So after the Citrus Berry, score is evened up. We know his Mega is Salamence, but we don't know his last Pokemon. It's going to be, what is that, Gastrodon. I was going to say Slugma because of the name, but no, it is Gastrodon coming out here, and Gastrodon is great against Pokemon like Mamoswine. There's not really that much I can do, though, with Sableye. I'm already fast and everything, so I'm just going to go for a Will-O-Wisp on that slot, as well as another Rock Slide. Praying for a flinch here, but we'll just see what happens. So we go for Rock Slide, like I said. We're going to see Bopper miss a Will-O-Wisp, and then go for an Earth Power instead of a Scald. He either thought I was going to Protect or Switch there, I think, and just try to get free damage in on Sableye. So that was a great turn for me. I definitely got a little bit lucky there. We're then going to see him switch out his Rotom, not wanting to eat any more of those with that guy. Going into Salamence, packing an Intimidate here, making sure my Rock Slides and Ice attacks are definitely weakened. So we go for a Will-O-Wisp. I thought the Gastrodon was actually going to switch out that turn. And we go for another Rock Slide, just trying to get some more damage on him here. I feel that unless he actually attacks the Mamoswine, I'm fine, and it looks this way like I'm forcing that I have a scarf. So I want him to think I have like a scarf or a band or something like that. And as far as he knows, I've only really used Rock Slide. Actually, no, wait, I'm totally wrong. I totally used an Earthquake. I used an Earthquake. I'm stupid. Anyways, we're gonna force Salamence out, and he goes back into the Rotom. Rotom can definitely eat a Rock Slide at this percentage because of the Intimidate. And we're gonna see Mamoswine go for an Icicle Crash. Big damage on Gastrodon, actually picking up the flinch with the Icicle Crash. I think that is a 20% chance to flinch. Pretty good stuff, and I also get a Recover off starting off turn 8, so things are definitely starting to look out for me my way. We go for another Icicle Crash. We have to KO Gastrodon, and we just can't let it recover. That's the main thing right here. I should have known by the Earth Power that he probably didn't have Recover. Standard set would be like Protect, Earth Power, Ice Beam, Scald at that point. But I just had to make sure. We also see his Rotom go for a Overheat on what was a low HP Sableye, not actually being able to pick up a KO and sharply lowering his special attack stat. So now these are his last 2 Pokemon. His Rotom is stuck with the -2 special attack stat. He gets a second Intimidate off of my Mamoswine, and I realized that if I can just send Mamoswine out without any of those attack reductions, I can just Ice Shard my way to victory. So I switch in my way to Metagross. I was expecting a Protect from a Salamence and potentially a Will-O-Wisp from Rotom, but Metagross is super bulky. It should just be able to deal with that pretty fine. So he's going to go Mega here, and no Protects from the Salamence. I'm going to pop a Recover just because there's no real reason to Will-O-Wisp any of these targets, because I assume the Salamence would Protect. He actually goes for a Hyper Voice instead. Not too much damage, but a critical hit on my Metagross regardless, and he also gets to go for a Will-O-Wisp. So big damage here. I was actually scared at this point in the game because, I mean, if he could KO my Metagross before I KO Rotom, I'm going to be in a really bad spot. So Metagross is finally going to go Mega, gaining that Tough Claws ability, and we're just going to try and see if I can KO the Rotom this turn. That's definitely the plan here. We're going for a Will-O-Wisp on the Salamence slot. Just trying to put a little bit of a timer on that guy. We assume it's special, judging by how much damage the Hyper Voice did, but it's going to double edge me this turn, actually, and finish off Sableye. Even with the burn, still enough damage to one-shot Sableye. Well, not really one-shot, I was at like 80 HP, but we do see him take Recoil, which is great for later in the game. If he then goes for an Overheat, remember he has a sharply reduced special attack stat, not going to KO the super bulky Metagross, and he gets another drop after that. I follow it up with a Zen Headbutt on Rotom, and you guys can pretty much see what that's going to mean. Picking up a KO on Rotom, even through the burn. Metagross is going to tick down, thanks to its own burn actually, but we know we have Mamoswine in the back. Mamoswine packs that Ice Shard, and we have Salamence on lockdown. So yeah, Mamoswine definitely MVP of this little match right here. It's actually just really good overall in the tournament. People just haven't really been preparing for it, and Ice Shard is going to be able to lock down this Mega Salamence, picking up the win. So pretty good stuff. Like I said, this tournament was a little while ago, right around the Nationals time, so I was expecting to see a lot more Mega Salamences, which is why I brought stuff like a Latios, which outspeeds before Mega, pairing it with like Quash Sableye, or a Mamoswine that packs Ice Shard. So pretty good game against Bopper. I got really lucky with the flinches on Gastrodon, but other than that, I felt I played really well, and other than switching my Latios into a Shadow Ball, that was gross. But thanks guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.